Welcome to Hairy Steve's workshop.
Hello, it's Hairy Steve back in the workshop. So, I've been needing to design and print some parts for the ET35 for a little while now, and I keep putting it off, partly because my printers are all elsewhere. So tonight it's time to sort that out, and it's going to involve a hammer and a cup of tea. Okay, now this is where the new printer is going to live, which unfortunately means that this shelf has got to go away. In fact, that framework there might be quite handy. Okay, the shelf has gone away, but I've left the brackets in place across the back and the sides there, so that they might actually help support the printer and stop it from falling off the back of the shelf if it gets knocked or something like that. So let's go and get the printer out of the back of the car. There we go. That's quite heavy. Okay, so this is a Creality K1 Max, which is an enclosed printer and is capable of printing at quite high speeds. They claim up to 600 millimeters per second. It's got a 300 by 300 by 300 mil build volume and self-leveling bed, all sorts of stuff. So let's get it out of the box and have a look. I'm not sure this is really going to be suitable for a box this big. Let me find my heavy duty box opener. That's more like it. Right. Instructions. Foam to add to the collection. That's the top cover. Here we go. Mains lead. That's the LCD control panel that goes on the front of it. There's definitely something in there because that's quite heavy, so I shall investigate that in a minute. And here is the printer. Bloody hell, that's heavy. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Made to measure. It's almost like I planned it or something. Okay, so now we've got the main printer out of the box, let's have a look at these other bits and see what's in this box, because I don't entirely know what's in it, but we'll find out. A quite nicely presented toolkit. It's a roll of filament. That's the handle for the door. Some rubber feet. Ooh. That looks like a spare tip for the hot end. This is the filament holder. This is the little LCD touchscreen unit which goes on the front corner, and it's all plug and play, so there's a little widget in the back there. Just clip it on and away you go, pretty much. So yes, I shall turn my attention now to the printer. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is put these sort of rubber feet on. 2, 3. There we go. And they tape this door shut good and proper. Okay, that's all the protective film off. Now to fit the door handle. Next bit is probably going to be the little control panel. And according to the instructions, you have to plug it in and then just push it in and clip it down. Fairly straightforward. This wire's not very long. There we are. I think that's in. And there we are. Here we have one of the build plates, because when I ordered this I got on a bit of a deal and I got the other build plate with it as well, which is textured, which I'll show you in a minute. Because this one is completely smooth, so that's what the glue stick's for, to try and help with getting the prints to stick to it. It's magnetic, so it's easy to remove. If I remember correctly, it's screwed down here. There's little arrow stickers in there as well, pointing them out so you don't miss any. Okay, I think apart from putting some filaments on it, it's pretty much good to go. Just got to plug it in first. One extension lead. I'll tidy that up later. On. Well, it's on. No smoke, no fire, no explosions. Okay, so English. Yes. Next. Remove the 3 screws, A, B and C, blah blah blah. Yep, done that. Welcome to Creality 3D print. Let's open the door and see what it's doing. Please keep the blue cube in the diagram clear of debris and click OK. Privacy policy, blah 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 blah. Does anyone ever read these? Yeah, next, whatever. Please set up your network. So, that one. Please enter your password. Connecting. Yep, connected. Time zone settings. UTC +1. There we are. That'll do. Next. Creality cloud binding. Please scan the code to bind your device to the Creality cloud. Fair enough. Oh, well, I'm going to come back to this in a minute because it looks a bit beyond me. And most things technologically wise are beyond me. Anyway, self-check. Please place the printing platform. The self-check process is expected to take around 11 minutes. Start. It's doing something. Oh, it's moving. That's homing. And now it's going to do an... I don't know what it's doing next. It says input shaping, whatever that means. Oh, here we go. Right, now it's doing its auto levelling. So it should go all the way to the front. and then it'll probe positions on the print bed, figure out how high the print bed is and if it's deformed or warped or anything. I'll tell you what, printers have come on such a long way. When I first got my first i3 printer about 8 years ago, I spent hours with a bit of paper or trying to level the print bed up using Allen keys to adjust the screws on each corner and trying to get it absolutely spot on, and then doing a test print and finding it was like 0.1mm too high in one corner. A pain in the arse. It's just doing it all automatically. The thing is, it's got a metal bed, so it can tell from seeing if it's a circuit's been made or not, whether or not the print bed and the nozzle are touching each other. Clever old system. Self-check completed. There we go. We have a happy printer. New version is found. There's a new firmware available. Let's download it. So much easier than the old printers. If you ever had to download or install a new version of firmware onto something like the i3 that I've got upstairs, it was an Arduino controlling it, so you had to download it and then upload it all to the Arduino IDE software and then plug it in and install it, and if it went wrong you'd basically wreck the board. So much easier. Now, are we going to have to go through the whole installation procedure again, or is it going to remember all of its previous settings? Like what language it's talking and stuff like that. That's neat. After the upgrade, please recalibrate. Yes. Detecting options, input shaping, auto leveling. Yes, and yes. Start. It's going to go through all this again. Well, we've seen this once, so don't need to watch it all again. Well, I think it's finished. Tips, self-check complete. Okay. Looks like it's working properly. Excellent. Okay, I've had to turn pretty much all the lights in the garage off because they were just reflecting all over the screen. So this might be a bit dark, but I'm going to show you a few of the functions that this has got. So if you press that, it turns off the internal light. If you press that, it takes you to the fan page where you can set all the individual fans. If you go to here, it's actually got some preloaded files on it. So we've got a test cube, we've got a couple of different spool holders. They've obviously realised from customer feedback that the rear mounted spool holder is not ideal, and they've given you a freestanding one and a side mounted one. There's the standard benchy, the little boat there, and there's a scraper for helping get the parts off the print bed as well. There's nothing on the USB drive because there's no USB drive installed in it. In the settings you've got things like updates and that kind of stuff, and then down here is your FAQ and the online manual. So yeah, just a quick look through. I'll have a bit more of a play with it when I've got some filament in it, and probably do a couple of test prints. One of the first things I'm going to do is print that spool holder so that I can put the spool on the side of the printer so it's out of the way. Okay, so apart from getting the filaments into the machine, it's pretty much ready to go. It's done all of its self-tests and everything. I did get a couple of extra bits and pieces when I bought this machine because they had them on offer at Creality. So I also bought a different build plate, which is slightly textured. So that's handy because hopefully I won't need any glue sticks on this one. The other thing I got, in addition to the roll of filament it came with, I also got two more rolls of filament. Another roll of white and a roll of grey. So they should come in handy. And that's all Hyper Series PLA, because this thing, because it can print so quickly, they've designed a special filament which melts really quickly. so that it can keep up with the printer. There's no point putting normal PLA in this thing, then trying to run it at high speed because the PLA won't make it fast enough. So I've got 3 kilos of this stuff to get through, so I suppose I'm going to have to find something to print next. As I say, I'm going to print either the freestanding or the side-mounted filament holder next. The side-mounted one looks basically like a bracket that this attaches to and just bolts to the side of the printer somewhere. So that's probably my best bet. I don't particularly want a freestanding one because it might fall over or get stuck or something like that, but we'll see. Oh! I nearly forgot the top cover. So, it's already got a little handle installed on it. It's just got all this protective film on it which needs getting rid of. And then I can go and fit it. They do say when printing low temperature filaments such as PLA and flexible filaments, remove the clear top cover if the room exceeds 30 degrees C. Well, it doesn't usually get that hot in here, but I'll play it by ear. I don't know if I should put it on or not, to be fair. I'm not really going to be printing anything other than PLA. But okay, now that the printer is all set up and calibrated and everything, I'm going to wax some filaments in it and do a test print. Right, get these on. Extrude. Yay! We have filament. There we go. Doink. First ever filament through this printer. That's good. Right, now we know it's extruding, I can do a test print. I think we'll do the classic benchy. Oh, actually, first thing I need to do, so I'm just going to re-auto level it just in case this textured print bed is slightly thicker than the original smooth one that I took off it. Right, it seems to have finished levelling now. Okay, right, let's print something. That looks like a purge line. That's fast. I don't know if you can get an idea of how fast this thing's printing from over there, so I'll bring the camera a bit closer in a sec. They weren't kidding when they said this was a fast printer. That was quick. Okay, so just got the first print off the new printer, and it's this little benchy boat, which is sort of a benchmark really, I suppose you could call it, for seeing how well a printer is actually set up. And yeah, it's pretty well set up. I mean, it's not perfect, but considering that's a brand new machine straight out of the box, that's not bad at all. I'll get the camera file up on my phone and do a close-up. Okay, so this is the benchy that's just come off the K1 Max, and it looks very good indeed. I mean, you can barely even see the build lines on the hull. You can just about see them if you get the angle right. Obviously along the top surfaces, like on the roof there, you can see them, and around the bow. But yeah, it's come out really well, considering that is literally a file that was supplied with the printer. I've done no tinkering, no setting up. I've literally just pressed print and it came out with this in 16 minutes, which is not bad at all. So yes, I'm very impressed with that. I mean, obviously, as I say, around the roof area it's a bit rough, and up the front there it's a little bit rough, but that's just the layer height. You could always increase the layer, the number of layers per millimetre. I mean, that looks like it's probably about 0.2 mil layers, so it's quite a low resolution print, but it's still come out really well. There's a tiny little bit of stringing on this side, very impressive, and the fact that it did it so quickly as well. So yes, I'm very happy with that. I'm going to keep that as a little sort of souvenir of the first ever print on my K1 Max. I've got a couple of other prints that I want to do as well. There's a side filament holder, which would be very handy because the filament holder's on the back on this thing at the minute. That's the only thing with that. It is quite loud. It's got a lot of cooling fans on it, and it makes quite a racket until they all turn off. So that's the printer all working. I just need to get my phone to talk to it now, because apparently you can actually monitor the printer from your phone. So I'm going to have a go at that next. Okay, I've just been fiddling around with the app on my phone here. I'm not sure how well this is going to come out, but you can see there that I've got the app running on my screen here, and it shows the percentage of completion of the print. It gives you the option to pause or stop the print, gives you a rough amount of time of how long it's got left to go. It gives you all the parameters down here, like the temperatures, and it also has a live image from the actual printer itself, because there's a little camera up inside the top corner of the printer which monitors the print bed. It's part of this system they've got, where if it's got something on the print bed and you go to print with something like, I don't know, a pair of pliers or something like that sitting on the print bed, it'll detect that and it'll go, hang on a sec, there's something wrong here. So yes, it's a very smart system. I'll just show you the actual print itself, because I'm printing the alternative filament holder that goes on the side of the printer. Done the whole thing from this. I literally just found the file on here, in the onboard files, I think it's called, or something like that. But anyway, so when you connect it to the printer, they both have to be connected to Wi-Fi, and then you scan a QR code from the printer on the app, and it hooks it all up together, and it'll actually, you can select which file to print from your phone and do everything remotely. So it's quite handy. So say for example you're out and about and you think, I need to print out, as long as that's on, you can do it remotely, and obviously as long as there's nothing else already on the print bed. So I'll just show you this. So this is the screen on the app, and there's the printer doing its thing. And there's a tiny bit of a lag because of, you know, Wi-Fi, but the camera itself is just there, and that's just coming to the it's just coming to the end of the first layer of this filament roll holder. So in a minute it'll probably take off like a scalded cat. You can hear the big parts cooling fan on the side there starting to do its thing. I reckon it's suddenly going to go mad on this layer. Here we go. There you go, it's really putting it down now. Right, I'm going to leave it to do its thing. This print is probably going to take the best part of another 40 minutes or so. So it's a bit pointless me recording the whole thing. But yes, it's certainly working well. Okay, the part's just finished printing, as you can hear from the fan still running. It took about 44 minutes to print, which isn't bad for a large part like that. My old CR10s probably would have taken about 3 hours to print that, something like that sort of size. In the end, I actually had to use the glue stick which came with the printer on the print bed, which you can see the lines there. So I'm just letting the print bed cool down. It's still at about 38 degrees at the minute. So once it's cooled down a bit, I'll pull the part off and we'll have a look at it. Okay, so the print bed cooled down enough to get the part off, and here it is, and it looks pretty good. So the big question, this is the spool holder off the back of the printer. Does it fit in this bracket? Of course it does. Okay, so there's the filament roll on its new holder on the side of the printer. I think it's much better there than being on the back, because around the back it's quite easily knocked off or jammed up. Also it's a bit of a pain in the backside to get to, whereas here it's relatively easy to reach. So yes, that will do nicely, I think. Okay, so that's the K1 Max all set up and working. So we've done a little benchy test print which came out really well. I've got the filament holder all printed up and attached to the side of the printer, so it's now got the roll of filament on the side of the printer, which is a much better place than on the back. And so yes, I'm very happy with this printer, but it does print incredibly quickly. The benchy on my old CR10 printers probably would have taken the best part of an hour. That took 16 minutes, and the filament holder took, I think it was 44 minutes. And again, on my old CR10s, a part that sort of size probably would have taken at least 3 hours. So it's an incredibly fast printer, and the parts are nice as well. This little benchy, all of these curved parts on the hull here are really nice. There's a few steps on the roof, but then that's to be expected because it's an angled surface. So I'm very happy with this printer, and I'm going to get a lot of use out of it, I think. So the next thing to do is probably to try and organise the area a little bit better, and maybe print a drawer for the tools to go in. Either attach it to the side of the printer or slide it underneath, just so that it's all sort of together. But yes, I'm going to leave it there for tonight, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like what I do here, please subscribe to my channel. There are also some more videos for you to watch on screen, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.